How's it going, Changemaker friends, fam, community? This is Luis Perales, CEO of Changemaker High School, coming at you with another Changemaker Chat. Now, on this topic of Changemaker Chat, we're going to be focusing in on Chinese philosopher and politician Confucius. Now, Confucius states that real knowledge is knowing the extent of one's ignorance. So, let's get after it. So if we're really talking about this dichotomy between knowledge and ignorance, we really need to think critically about what's been happening in the education space, at least in the modern age. In the modern age, those two concepts of ignorance and knowledge are put in a dichotomy. That means they're polar opposites. Either you're knowledgeable or you're ignorant. And we really go back into the past and we look at ancient civilizations who have seen education not only as a task, but really a sacred art. They put forth a different way of understanding and interrogating this concept of seeking knowledge. So if we go back to the ancient Greeks, for example, Socratic sensibilities come, of course, from the philosopher Socrates. So Socrates really put forth this idea of asking the question, why? Why? Why does this happen? Why does that exist? And why? Why should we think that or believe this? Now, if we come and look at the ancient civilization of the Maya, we look at the Popol Vuh. And in the Popol Vuh, the concept of the Pancheve is of the utmost importance. The Pancheve and the concept of seeking the root of the truth is a guiding force in Mayan philosophy. So if we look at these ways of traditional understandings and knowledge seeking, we really can look deeply into this idea of the concept of ignorance and knowledge are not at opposing polar opposites, but actually they're very, very close together. The reality is that we don't really know much about much. Most folks, even folks who are highly educated and even those who have tons of life experience, have only learned a sliver of what is the possibility of knowledge that exists in our world. So really, the concept of knowing is one not of believing and being at an end all, but really in this constant process of seeking. So it's really important that we break this idea down that not everyone who is completely knowledgeable is, better, and not everybody who we would perceive as ignorant is worse, but rather that we are all in this process of seeking knowledge. Now, when it comes to the ed space, we really have to reevaluate how the modern educational space is looking at this sacred art. A lot of times, all we want to do is provide knowledge for knowledge's sake, rather than helping young people to interrogate realities, ask that Socratic sensibility, seek that root of truth, and come to not conclusions, but more questions that will guide them to more answers, and more answers that will guide them to greatness. So when we're really looking at what is the responsibility of the ed space, what's the responsibility of our young people, and what's the responsibility of our community as a whole to learn and guide, is really very much this concept of being open, to seek, to being wrong, to challenging our own ways, to challenging others, but doing it in a way that, again, is safe and challenging. So if we are really going to understand becoming knowledgeable, we really have to first start with what we don't know. And what we don't know is a whole lot. So when it comes to helping young people in this process, we have to see ourselves as these guides to greatness. We have to help young people so that they can see themselves and see the world with as many different lenses as possible, not limiting them to just one way of seeing, but rather helping them to see in multiple ways, where they can interrogate information in a way that allows them to become knowledgeable without drawing too many conclusions, but rather being open to the possibility of a myriad of conclusions. This is the essence of the challenge in the modern age, because the modern age is really bombarding us with information and knowledge, which makes us feel like we are indeed knowledgeable. And in truth, we still stay in a state of a lack of knowledge or a lack of understanding, which means that we all have in one way or another, a concept of ignorance. So what do we do? Well, first off, we have to reevaluate what we're going to do in the ed space. And number one, we need to start listening to our young people. Our young people are those eyes and ears and minds that are going to see and hear and feel the future. In many instances, because we have come to conclusions, we've already decided that what's being put forth is not going to work, is not something that's appropriate. But really, if we look at the young people and every group of young people that have come before them, they have been the ones who push ideas forward and make new possibilities real. So we really have to focus in the ed space in a different way, provide a partnership opportunity with young people, and learn to listen, not just demand that they listen to us. So this is a key piece in this understanding that when we look at the ed space, we're usually thinking about, young people need more knowledge and that educators are the ones to provide it to them. But really, it's a double way where young people are providing us the information and we're providing them information. And in that, we're in partnership to be able to grow and develop into better and bigger things. So that's what we're up to here at Changemaker High School. We want to create that partnership with young people. We want to interrogate knowledge. We want to seek the root of the truth, and we want more seekers and less believers. Because if we create more seekers, then those questions will allow us to more greatness. And so with that, folks, I want to thank everybody for listening. I thank everybody who's been following us. If you want to see more videos about this type of information, please follow us on Instagram, YouTube, and of course on Facebook. Videos are posted there every Wednesday. So we'd like to continue to have your input on everything that we're doing here. And thank you for listening. Again, if you know somebody who is interested in this type of education and wants to know more, please help them get to our website, www.changemakerhighschool.org/intent-to-enroll, to learn more, to schedule a tour, and to speak to us about what you're interested in. If you'd like to give us a call, you can also call us at 520-615-2200, and we can also connect with you there. So again, folks, thank you so much for listening. This is it for this Changemaker Chat. We'll see you next week. Thank you so much. Have a good one. Bye-bye.